I really feel that we can bring this shift in hip-hop, where when you speak about hip-hop, it's about brotherhood, it's about working hard, it's about being successful, it's about being honest, it's talking about your journey, it's about all of those things, instead of talking about hate, talking about the killers, talking about guns and things like that. So recently we heard the news that NIPSEY passed away. It was really shocking news for everyone. Like, more and more people were recognizing him, not just an artist, but as a person and what he was doing for the community and really uplifting the society using his platform. And I did not know a lot about him. I knew about him because I saw him in a meeting with Gary.
I think about you a lot, and I met a lot of people. I was just telling her, I said, as soon as NIPSEY gets here, we're gonna get philosophical. And
I heard some of his music. It was good, and I was like, you know, like good, like every person Gary's meeting, and Gary likes hip hop artists. He's very, very involved in culture, but very few times you would hear him speaking so highly of someone. And I would keep hearing Gary speak so much about NIPSEY, and I thought that this person like is really onto something, and I was really looking forward to it. Irrespective, this was just to give you a little background if you don't know about him. But what I wanted to talk about was, I didn't know him so much, but still someone dying is, I was like, why? Like, what happened? And turns out he was shot. And it was really, really upsetting. I wasn't sure if I had so many thoughts in my mind as to why. Like, it just kept coming up, why? This was so similar what happened to XXXTentacion. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was also shot. And a lot of thoughts in my mind and just a why, right? And recently I saw that this movie Joker was coming out, the Batman Joker, and its trailer just came out. That I think it's coming like this summer or whatever, irrespective, whenever it's coming out. And it was just giving a background of how Joker became Joker, and it was so similar to the beliefs I have. Is why do these bad people, by bad people I mean like murderers, terrorists, what happens, like what goes so wrong? And it turns out it was so similar to what I was thinking, was that Joker did not like just born and become Joker, like I'm just gonna be this evil person who's just gonna fucking destroy everything. And I know it might sound a little out of context from the whole NIPSEY thing, but this person who shot him, the person who shot X, the people who, I know Joker is a fictional character, but guess what, it's not fictional. This is the story of so many people, how so many people go into such evil jobs. I don't know what to say, like just going out of your way to hurt someone, and not just like hurt them a little bit, but hurt them. And it just doesn't happen randomly. It happens over a course, over repeated circumstances, over repeated events that happened in their lives. And I don't know, was it a coincidence or what? Watching the Joker's trailer right then, it did not just make sense. Like, it was just like a sign or whatever that shit's not good, you know? Anyway, Joker just didn't fucking become Joker. Things that happened in his life, the fact that he was bullied constantly, the fact that he was ill-treated, the fact that he was made fun of, and just things like that, so much of it led to him being Joker. He couldn't find appreciation, he wasn't respected for the person who he was, that he had to go out of his way to become someone else, to find that, I don't know, like a sense of purpose. And just, you know, being someone, like having an identity, feeling important. One of the biggest things that humans crave is not just attention, but feeling important. Like kind of acknowledging their importance as human beings. And this was quoted in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's an extremely well-known book, and it's an incredible book, by the way. And it said one of the biggest cravings people have is to be acknowledged and to make feel important. And I feel like when people kind of just lose their purpose, and not just lose their purpose, but if they're not appreciated, forget about not being appreciated and about being acknowledged. They're demeaned, they're dehumanized, they're belittled by bullying them, by making fun of them. And it happens, it's just such a compounding effect. You know, like I don't say like you be mean to someone and then they're just like going and killing people. But it's over a course of time that they're so mistreated that they forget any sense of morality or, I don't know, like compassion, empathy. Like that shit's like not in the dictionary. And I wouldn't say it's not their fault, but something led to them being that way. I definitely feel that. Anyway, what I meant to say was, now we're seeing so much of the hip-hop culture that talking about drugs, talking about guns, talking about killing people is so out in the open. And I wouldn't say it's being appreciated, but it's definitely, I don't know, getting louder. And I think what I'm perceiving a little bit, that's becoming cooler. Like if you say that you have killed people, if you say that you're doing drugs, if you say like all these negative things, that it's somehow bringing attention to your music, it's bringing attention to you as an artist. And people are doing it openly. I don't know how much of it is true or not. You know, like just getting fucking teardrops on their face, telling how many people you kill, like just shit like that, that is very, very involved in the culture. And you're seeing it becoming so cool and so open. And to me, hip-hop has been so much about, it's so important and it's so close to my heart, because when I was just going through a shit time, like I would listen to hip-hop, like just like music, you know, like it has dope beats. But only since the past 2 years that I listen to hip-hop in a very different way. I started consuming music and started consuming the artist in a more different way. It held so much meaning for me, and I became so much of a lyrics person, where people were talking about how they started from the bottom and they came up, how they had no friends in the beginning, but you know, they worked hard and met the right people, or how they felt so stuck in the place that they were, but irrespective, they kept working hard and they hit, and now things are good. And you know, just inspiring people. And to me, it was all about like starting from the bottom and coming up. And every artist would describe their journey, and I would feel like that we're homies and we're in this together. And when I felt like I'm stuck in my room, when I felt like I can't accomplish anything, I would go to music. And I felt like if they did it, I can do it. Because this feeling that I'm having right now of like self-doubt, of feeling stuck, this is not just me, this is everyone. And that's why I would feed off it. Like literally just, I feel like a week ago, I was like, you know, this is getting too much, I'm getting too stressed out. And forget about being stressed out. I wasn't so pissed about being stressed out. I feel like I can handle stress. But it was so much about, I wasn't able to see results. And I was like, I just started to put in work. Like you could just kind of like expect like for 1 week you'll work and then boom, like, you know, you're rising to the top. You can't even expect like for a fucking year you're working and then boom, like you, of course you'll see some progress, but like, you know, you necessarily like won't hit, right? So Spotify recently came to India, and so I was listening to a lot of new music, because you just select artists and then they recommend you music like that or whatever. It has playlist. And then literally I was just sitting in the bathroom and I was like literally out of my head, I was like, how do I move forward? And I just heard this line which said, no matter how hard it gets, some people fall under pressure, but I was built for this shit.
You gotta live with the shit. I take the good with the bad, no matter how hard it gets. Some nigga fall under pressure, but I was built for this shit.
And that one line that I heard has been moving me throughout. I feel like it's been more than a week. Whenever I feel like I can't do it, I was like, no matter how hard it gets, some people fall under pressure, but I was built for this shit. Just that attitude. Hip-hop has been affirmations for me. Hip-hop has been my mindset. It's been my culture. It's been such a guiding force, such a guiding direction to me. And I love it, and I genuinely celebrate it. And I tell people who are you know, like just working hard and shit, like I always recommending them music. I was like, you know, if you, I mean, you have this podcast and no one's listening to it, go listen to the song. I'm sure, like, go listen to this artist, and you get so many, you just like be so inspired. And because music is I mean, it just keeps you going, and that's what hip-hop is to me. That's why it's so close to my heart, and that's why it's not just music, like it sounds good, the lyrics are good, but it's that person's life. He's not just writing lyrics because they rhyme, but he's actually speaking about his own life. And when you listen, when you really vibe with a song, you're really vibing with an artist, because he didn't just write it for the fuck, like, you know, for the heck of it, like, you know, let me write a cool song, like fucking, I don't know, like a Gucci Gang or whatever. I don't know, it's just that popular, that's why I'm like mentioning it. That song has no fucking meaning. Like, if you like it, like, it's just a song you like. You don't know anything about Lil Pump as a person or whatever, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that's a stupid example, but like, just to get you the point. But if you listen to someone like Nav, who is speaking about, I remember his songs like On My Own and Up, and I heard them, I'm like, what? This is me. Like, he's going exactly what I'm going through. And I connected with him so much as a person. I didn't even know him, but I just listened to his music, and I was like, I still feel like he's been such a huge part of what I will accomplish, and just things like that, you know. So when I heard about NIPSEY, I just couldn't help but think, why? You know, how do we lose someone, and for what reason, and how do we lose someone? You know, not out of sickness, not out of an accident, but someone deliberately went to take his life. I mean, I was speechless, but I didn't want to make this video. I felt like it would be like, who am I to speak about things? But something just wouldn't stop in my head, like these thoughts I was constantly having with watching the Joker's trailer and listening to about NIPSEY, and then remembering X. I had the same feeling when he died. Though I did not vibe with his music that much, his music was like good music, and it wasn't like such a lyrics thing for me, but I know for so many people it was. And yeah, so anyway, what that brought me to talk about, just little thing, just being more, I don't know, just being conscious about the actions that we're taking, conscious about the words we're speaking, conscious about the choices that we're making, you know. Because I remember it's not like I remember, like, being me in a school, you know, movies like fucking Mean Girls, where you're like, you know, you can't sit with us, makes you like look cool, or you're just like, I don't fuck with this person, and not like, I don't know, like just maybe insulting people, and just things like that. It's becoming cooler and cooler and cooler, you know, and it's louder. I don't know why, like, this is just something I'm seeing, this is just something I'm witnessing, that becoming mean is becoming cooler, bullying people is becoming cooler. Like, it's just, I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't want to make like statements like that, but what I mean is that, you know, more than pushing to be kind, like be kind to this, like be kind to people and be this and be that, more than that, I feel like a discussion that we need to have is that, you know, all of us are diverse people, all of us are different, from different countries, different religions, different families, different ethnicities, just different people, right? Like diverse people with different minds, different clothes, different speech, whatever, different people, and that's fine. But what matters is, even though no matter how different we are living in the same community, which you can call the earth. But I was studying about what it means to be a global citizen. And the global citizen, I don't know if it's a thing or not, like an official thing, but how we should live and the kind of mind that we should have is to become global citizens. And the global citizen is no one, it's just a person with global consciousness. And what global consciousness means is that an awareness that we are all members of the same global community, which is called global citizenship. That's it, like just as simple as that. I'm not sure if I'm doing a good job in putting in like the correct words, but what I was like just reading and learning and thinking about the other day, that now why are we talking about global citizenship is because you're in the global consciousness. That means the way you think is this person in front of you, even though he's from another fucking country, even though he's follows another religion, even though he has a different color, or even though he's old or young, I don't know, like whatever it is, this person is the same person as you are. This person is alive. Like, you want to call it human being or whatever, like this person's alive, and so are you. And you guys live in the same community, which is the earth, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like the world. You live together. So you should have respect for that person, because you have respect for yourself. So because this person is different in terms of thoughts, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever, yes, you will disagree with people, but you shouldn't by any means dehumanize them or belittle them, going out of your way to disrespect someone, going out of your way to dehumanize someone. Because your little, I know it wouldn't be easy, you know, like you hate people, like someone like just literally fucking screaming at you, someone, whether you're right and how wrong that person is, we just wouldn't go out of our way to do that to someone else. Our actions would have some consequences. You don't know, first of all, what that fucking person's going through. You don't know what you're adding to his life. Maybe he's having already a terrible fucking day. Maybe he hates his family, and you, a stranger, or you, a friend, or you fucking a neighbor or whatever, like just made that shit even worse. If you're not making it better for someone, please don't go out of your way to make it worse for someone. You know what I'm saying? This global consciousness or this global citizenship, like the kind of people we need to become, is that of course we'll disagree with people. You might disagree with your fucking like sister or brother or your mother, and therefore you will disagree with a stranger, but by no means we should like disrespect or dehumanize someone. This shooter, like, he just didn't come out of his way and like, you know, like just come into this world and think like, I'm just gonna be like this fucking terrible fucking person and who's gonna do this. But his just circumstances, the way life responded to him, made him that way. That's what I believe. I don't know, it was so weird. Like once I heard about NIPSEY and I had all these thoughts like, why? And then I just saw this trailer for Joker. I know it's a fictional character, but I felt like it has such deep meaning. Joker became Joker because of the people that made him into Joker. He just didn't fucking become a Joker out of like fall from like somewhere in the world and like, I'm just gonna fuck everyone up. It was the fucking people. I have this friend who works in, I guess, international geographic relations or something like that, where they study, I was just having a conversation. She told me one of the courses in her university was, not courses, like I don't know, it was a chapter or course or whatever, like why terrorists become terrorists. And I know it's an extreme discussion, but I just wanted, like, I just feel like we should be aware of things like that. Of course, by all means, they're like evil and like doing wrong and stuff, but so many times she told me that they become terrorists because, like, just one example she gave me, which was, so there was this family, right? Like it had like sisters and a brother and a mother, right? And there were these dudes from outside stepped into the house, you know, raped his sister, took his mother, and just things like that. All of that thing happened, and the guy was just kind of there, helpless, or whatever, something along those lines. What do you think he would do? What do you think, how would he live his life? I think it was one of the case studies or whatever, and these were people, I believe, from another country or something of those lines. I know this is a sensitive topic, but I just kind of wanted to shed light on it. By no means I'm saying what he's doing is justified, but just to give you context, this is one of the extreme things. But there's so many cases like bad people just turn into bad people because life led them to. And fine, life led them to, but that is not in your control. You can't just go and fucking like change everyone. But what you can do is definitely bring that change in you, that no matter how much you fucking hate, I mean, of course, like, you know, I hate fucking people. That's why I didn't want to make this video. I was like, you know, what if like I'm talking about all this and then tomorrow I'm like posting a video like, I fuck you, you motherfucker, I'm gonna fuck you up. But yeah, no matter how much I disagree with someone, when I think about people I hate or whatever, I just hate them. Like, I don't want to fucking see their faces. But by no means am I gonna go out of my way to hurt them, to deeply, like, literally fucking destroy them. And I don't just mean like physically, like fight someone or whatever, but even like mentally and emotionally. I wouldn't go out of my way to damage someone. And that's what I was thinking, like, this NIPSEY thing happened, and what are we gonna do about it? The least we can do is just have this consciousness of the world around us, you know, that we're people, we're lives, you want to call it fucking human beings or whatever. I feel like it's so important for us to think about people in a global way. Like, Like now I'm doing my podcast and I'm speaking with all these people from fucking different countries, different states, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're literally just talking as like two people. And mind you, like most, literally 90% of them are people that I have never spoken to my whole life. This is like the first time we're having a conversation. But I don't find it difficult because we're just talking about, instead of finding how different we are, we're just talking about how alike we are. That everyone's working hard, everyone has these goals, has these ambitions, and all of us are in this together and helping each other grow. That is why I so want to make it a movement. And now I'm connecting with, I don't know what happened, and suddenly I just started connecting with so many artists. Like I was just finding people in Gary's comment sections and I wouldn't see like who's who. I would like just see if people a little bit into the social game and if they consume Gary and if the thoughts match mine, and I would hit them up. And so many of them turned out to be artists. And I was like, cool, like I love music, and now I kind of feel like it's shaping up into something. I'm having all these thoughts and ideas in my head how we can shape this into something, and I really feel that we can bring this shift in hip-hop where when you speak about hip-hop, it's about brotherhood, it's about working hard, it's about being successful, it's about being honest, it's talking about your journey, it's about all of those things, instead of talking about hate, talking about killers, talking about guns and things like that. Like sure, there are always people who'll be towards that like side or whatever, and I know it's their truth, you know, maybe they actually went through shit like that, maybe they had to experience things like that. But now as a musician, as an artist, you have people listening to you. I understand that we would want to share our truth about what happened. Sure, you can share it, but by no means make it cooler that this person like used to kill fucking people in my hood and now I'm gonna go out to kill. I don't know like how it works, but I have been heavily consuming this genre of music, and this is something that I've been witnessing or whatever, and I felt like it was an important thing to talk about. Let's not let people like NIPSEY, he was working hard, he was actually doing something great, going on to do something great. He was just a good human being, and I wouldn't say it's rare. I think there are a lot of good people, but it's important for good people to become louder. I'm seeing this like again, like negativity is so much louder, even though there is more positivity than negativity, but people just don't want to talk about their good shit, you know. They're like, I don't want to talk about all the charities that I've done, I don't want to talk about like the homeless people I've helped. Like I know you don't want to talk about it, you feel like weird and you don't want to like do, I don't know, whatever, like I get it, like, you know, I would do the same shit, but oh, let's think of a way to be able to communicate things like that. Because the kids that are listening to your music, the kids that are consuming your content, what is it that they're consuming? All the good shit that you're doing is hidden, it's secret, you don't want to put it out there. But what's out there is the media, like something like PewDiePie, right? He just made a video today of how the media is criticizing him, like telling people he's a fucking Nazi, he's a white super. I was like, what? Like a person like me who's consumed him so much, and I love him, even though he's not in my genre, he's not into business, he's not into like this and that, but he's generally such a good human being, and you feel it, like you feel his vibe, and he's been making videos for so many years. How long can you fake it, right? And him just being a good fucking person is why he deserves to be at the top where he is. And he was just speaking about how much the people who don't consume PewDiePie, which is a lot of people, like think about the world, right? A lot of people know of him, but not a lot of people consume him on an everyday basis as compared to the people who just know of him and don't consume it. Of course, I know millions of people consume him. There are like 7 million people consuming him on a daily basis, just to give you an example. There are 40-50 million people who just know of him, but then they know of him not because they consume his content, they know of him because they heard about him in the news, they read about him in the newspaper. And that's what's becoming louder, is this person at the top of the YouTube game is a racist, is this, is that. Like what? Just because he wouldn't talk about the charities he's done, the people he's helped along the way, the message that he's giving out to his subscribers, just like all the good shit, which is so much heavier than all the bad shit. But just because it's not like constantly through, because the negative shit gets viewed, right? Talking PewDiePie is racist is gonna get hella views. Then PewDiePie raised $1.4 million for charity for AIDS. You know what I'm saying? So we as people, we as future I just see myself at being a very, very influential place in the future, and I feel like that is everyone. Like whoever's trying to work hard, whoever's gonna become successful is gonna gain a position of influence because of social media now. It's so important of the kind of person you are becoming and the kind of thinking that you have. I really do feel like that, because it's not just you anymore. You have millions of people consuming you. And I know that you want to be yourself, you want to have freedom of speech, but if you're not a good person and if you don't have the right perspective, you don't deserve to be at the top. I don't know. I genuinely feel that way. Little pomp and shit, like I was so pissed. Like I know I don't want to say this, but so many people consuming, kids consuming it because Gucci Gang became cool and shit. Like kids gravitate towards like what's becoming cooler, and that's what they're consuming, that's what they're learning. I don't know, that's why I just want to talk about it there. I really hope that Nipsey's death means something and brings about a real change of who we are becoming as people and what are we doing, you know. You just being like mean to someone, that shit compounds in their lives, you know. I know I've been mean to people, and you don't have to become friends with everyone. Fuck it. Like I say, don't even be kind to everyone if that's too hard for you. But the least you can do is don't go out of your way to dehumanize people. That shit like compounds and it's gonna come back to you. These shooters, you know, think about this Las Vegas shooter who shot all these people, these shooters in California, like people shooting in schools and stuff. What do you think? What kind of life do you think that they're living on an everyday basis? What are the thoughts that they're having? They're obviously human beings that have been deeply hurt, or they're mentally disturbed. Sure, some of them could be like crazy fucking psychopaths, but what about the most of the people? People being born, like they just don't come out to be like, you know, I'm just gonna fuck shit up. I really feel that way. So let's really emphasize on the kind of people we're becoming, the conduct that we have in society, and what are we doing. If it's too hard for you to be kind, I know people say be kind, be positive, don't hurt people. Like if you can't be kind, fuck it, like just live your life or whatever, but let's not go out of our way to do things. Of course you're gonna hate people, I'll say that again. Like of course you're gonna disagree with people, of course you're gonna have like all kinds of people. You just gotta really remind yourself that what is the kind of person I am becoming and what is it that I'm putting out, because every word, every thought, every action that we're taking has consequences. You call it karma in the contemporary world. I studied about cause and effect, that for every cause you're creating, there's an equal effect that you'll manifest, whether it's good, whether it's bad. And it's a very strict law. I genuinely believe it. I've experienced it. If you believe it, if you don't, like, that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to. It doesn't matter, but I just want to talk about that. And yeah, let's not only think about and appreciate people when they're gone, but I really want to create this big and very loud community of people who are working hard and they're good people. It doesn't matter if they get successful or not. What's important is that they're good people and that they're working hard. Why I say working hard is like you just can't be a good person like just be like sitting in your room. Like yeah, sure, you can be a good person sitting in your room, like no harm, but if you're a good person, the world needs you. The world deserves you. So please, if you're a good person with good thoughts and good minds, it's imperative that you get successful. It's imperative that you come in a position of power so that you can serve the world with your thoughts and with your energy and with your whatever. So I really feel that way, and I just wanted to bring that up. This is a 33-minute video. Thank you for watching. Bye.